Eswatini, not Swaziland, okay guys? And not even Switzerland if you're thinking of that country, that beautiful country. So I'm gonna be reacting to, what is it called, Geography Now. It made a video about Eswatini. I think it's gonna talk about the geography and everything. I'm gonna react to, as somebody who grew up there, I have some inside knowledge about the country, so you're gonna hear from the horse's mouth how close is this video to facts, you know, to facts. And let's see what they say about the beautiful landlocked country in Southern Africa. Let's take a look.
We are nullifying the alphabetical rule. Recently, this country decided to change their name, and as of 2018, the UN has officially taken on the new title. No more Swaziland. Say hello to Eswatini.
Eswatini. Alright? People who are there are called Emaswati. Alright? So it's Eswatini. Eswatini.
It's time to learn geography now! Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbs. This is pretty exciting because this has never happened before on our show. Today we get to cover a country that would have otherwise had to wait a few more years to have their episode made.
You know what? I'm kind of content with my place in line. It's kind of an honor to be the last country, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, I got an idea. What if I decided to create my own Zulu country?
Nope. Like I said, it
Physical abuse. Come on guys, stop hurting each other.
would be an honor.
Let's look at the map now, shall we?
Let's go.
Eswatini is a nation with strong traditions and interesting controversial customs. Let's start off by locating this tiny nation, shall we? First of all, Eswatini is landlocked, located in the southern African region bordered by Mozambique to the northeast and the rest by South Africa. At only about 17,400 square kilometers.
So yeah guys, facts. But Eswatini was actually very big prior to this size. But like South Africa took some parts of Eswatini, so it was actually a bigger country. And up until a few years ago, we heard that the king went to South Africa to like ask if it's possible to get back that land which was lost to South Africa, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So
the country is the second smallest mainland African nation after the Gambia and 7th overall if you include the island nations. The country is divided into 4 regions with the capital Mbabane located in the northern part of the
correct, Mbabane. Yeah, she's actually pronouncing good.
country.
Yeah.
However, traditionally, the city of Lobamba is considered to be the royal and legislative capital of the country where the royal family lives. Yeah, that's right. This is royal territory we're in.
Yeah, so that's the Ludzitini royal residence. That's where the big man chills, you know, chief, the big guy, the big boss.
More about that later. Eswatini has a light semi-continuous dispute with South Africa over the Kangwane areas that are claimed to be historical lands of the kingdom and are today administered by the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. Surprisingly, the capital is not the largest city. That title actually goes to Mazini, a bit further east. And even more interesting, although the country is barely
Manzini. So Manzini was actually the capital city of Eswatini, but it later changed to Mbabane. So Manzini is actually like the busy, it's very busy compared to Mbabane. So yeah, correct.
Populated with limited space, they still have 2 international airports, King Mswati III International and Matsafa International. Numerous road entrances come in from South Africa, like the main highway, the MR3. It traverses the entire country west to east, eventually ending in Mozambique, which is like their main link to the Indian Ocean, only 48 kilometers at the capital of Mozambique, Maputo.
Only 48 kilometers?
Yep.
So does that mean you could like start in Mozambique, go to Eswatini, and make a quick hook into South Africa all in one day?
Yeah, it is kind of possible, but just be mindful of the traffic and when the border actually opens.
Whoa, you could go to like 3 countries in one day? Are you guys up for that?
Wait, who are you, by the way?
I'm Hannah.
Oh, how did you get on the show?
Well, I'm a friend of Noah's, and your subscribers said they wanted more females on your show, so I'm here to fill your quota.
Oh, yeah. Can you read the teleprompter good?
Yes.
Alright, you're in. Otherwise, some notable places of interest might include all that royal stuff in Lobamba, the House of Parliament, the House on Fire, the Maguga Dam, the Swazi Cultural Village and Craft Markets, the Manzini Market, the Yebo Art Gallery, the Sugarcane Museum, the Mzimba Trail, the Malalocha Canopy Tour, Somhlolo Stadium, the Eswatini National Museum, Sibebe Rocks, King Sobuza II Memorial Park, Happy Valley Casino. Yep, they have a casino. And keep in mind, each of the nature reserves usually...
No, but shout out to him. Like, he's actually names close enough for I don't know what country he's from, but like he's actually doing a great job pronouncing all these names.
Hosts a traditional tribal village with those thick dome thatched reed houses that you can check out. Speaking of nature reserves, let's discuss the natural side of the country now, shall we? Now, Eswatini may be small, but you'd be surprised at how many diverse physical regions it actually has. First of all, the country is mostly sandwiched between the Lebombo Mountains to the east and the Drakensberg Mountains to the west.
Whoa. Lebombo? I don't think so. It's Lubombo, right? I think it's Lubombo. Yeah, it's Lubombo, not Lebombo. Lu.
Where you can find the tallest peak, and Lembe to the north. In between is the Lebombo Valley, the flattest part of the country, where most of the savannas, forests, and farms are found, as well as an abundance of rivers, like the longest one, the Great Usutu River. Some of the rivers are blocked up by dams, like the Komati River, which creates reservoirs, like the largest one in the country, the Maguga Reservoir.
Yeah.
All right, this is about time for my triple shot espresso break. You know what, Noah, get over here. Noah, how would you like to have your own segment in every physical geography section of every episode from now on?
You know what? That sounds pretty great to me. As long as I'm here to shoot the episodes, I'm down.
All right, great. You are officially promoted to geography physical section co-host. All right?
Cha-ching.
If Noah gets promoted, does that mean I get to be promoted?
Ken, just keep rolling.
But I've been working for you longer than...
Ken!
Oh, yeah.
Ken, do it, Ken, you're fired.
Next time, Ken.
In addition to the mountains and valleys, which, by the way, have a ton of beautiful waterfalls like the one at
Very
Montega. There's
beautiful.
over 10 nature reserves, sanctuaries, and the most notable one, the
Klane.
Royal National Park, known for having the largest population of nesting vultures in the world. You can find the typical species of sub-Saharan Africa, the big five that I already explained in the Malawi episode, and the national animal, the Thompson's gazelle. There's also the
Malalocha
Reserve, which has some of the oldest mountains on Earth, and supposedly the oldest mine on Earth.
The
Ngwenya
oldest
mine,
mine.
speculated to have been used during the Stone
Ngwenya mine is the oldest ever mine in the world. Rumor has it there's still a lot of minerals inside, but like, yeah, only the big boss is like, you know, using it. It's not available to like for the government to like, you know, but like the big boss is taking a shit for that. But yeah, that's the oldest mine ever in history.
Age. Economy-wise, over half of the population either works in agriculture and are subsistence farmers. Surprisingly, they are the fourth largest producer in sugar in Africa, despite the limited land area. They are also famous for producing two unique items.
Ngwenya glass,
which is often intricately molded by specialists, often to look like animals, and Swazi candles, which usually come in multi-pattern designs, often shaped like animals as well.
You know, I don't understand candles though. Like if I bought that, I would never light it up and use it. Why would you melt such a beautiful candle?
Would you do it for $6?
Get me my blowtorch.
Otherwise, food in Eswatini is similar to those of other countries around them. You have dishes like ground maize and bean porridge, pumpkin porridge, dried meat straps, porridge.
Seed food. Damn. Need to go back there.
Pumpkin leaf and nut stew. Yeah, pumpkins are kind of a big deal here. Despite having a relatively diversified economy, they do kind of suffer from low production and high unemployment at about 25%, which is actually a drop from the previous 40% in 2006. This is partially because the country faces a high adult mortality rate, which in return affects the labor sector. Eswatini has a lot in its plate. Let's discuss that in...
Awesome, great job, Noah. Follow him on Instagram. Send him fan mail.
Thank you.
For the record, somebody from Eswatini is called Swazi. I love that word, Swazi. Anyway, the country has about 1.4 million people and nearly 40% of the
They called Eswatini. Alright.
Population is 14 or under in age. The country is almost completely homogenous, with about 97% of the people identifying as ethnically Swazi, whereas the rest are mostly white Africans, either of British or Afrikaner descent. They use the Lila Guinea as their currency, which is pegged to the South African rand. They use the Type M outlet, and they drive on the left side of the road. Now here's the thing. We have to address the sad reality that Eswatini has one of the lowest life expectancies in the world at only about 50 years old. This is partially due to the fact that about a quarter of the entire adult population suffers from HIV/AIDS, and as of today, they have the highest rate in the world per capita. To this day, it's estimated that about 1 out of every 6 children under the age of 15 has been orphaned by losing both parents to the disease. This, in return, has caused a huge shortage in adult labor, and today, over 60% of the country lives in relative poverty. It's also forced the rulers to revise an entirely new social structure and policies in order to combat sexually transmitted diseases. One way they did this was by introducing a program of action which aims to reach first world status by 2022. In the program, it states that it will increase the number of HIV clinics over 10-fold enrolled both in urban and rural areas with proper aid packages, and it'll also incentivize medical professionals to stay in the country to prevent brain drain. Speaking of which, in Eswatini, they speak Swazi or Siswati, a language closely related to Zulu.
But guys, Swaziland actually, Eswatini made a good effort in educating a lot of Swazis about like HIV and AIDS. So I think, yeah, like compared to whatever he was saying, right now it's in a much more better scenario. I don't have the stats with me right now, but I'll try and get them for you guys. But yeah, it's actually did like a lot, and the education really helped us, and a lot of people are now literate in terms of knowing about their HIV status and all that.
In addition, English is also co-official and taught in schools. They were a British protectorate for a while. Otherwise, Eswatini is not only a monarchy, but actually one of the world's only 4 diarchies. Ken, explain what a diarchy is. Go.
Okay. A diarchy is when 2 independent authoritative figures take control of a country equally. Sort of like Andorra with the co-principality. In the case of Eswatini, it would be the king known as the Ngwenyama, or lion, and the queen mother, or the Ndovokati, or elephant mother. This means that the king and his mother rule the country. And if there is no mother, a ritual substitute can also be the queen mother, usually an elder female relative.
Ken, I just asked you to explain what a diarchy was, not the whole royal system of the country.
Well, that's what you get for not promoting me.
Oh, you want a promotion?
Oh yeah.
You want a promotion?
Really?
You want a promotion?
Really?
Oh yeah. Okay, well here's $6.
I'll take it.
To this day, they are the only absolute diarchy in the world, with virtually all legislative power given to the king and queen mother. Although, yeah, let's be honest, the king kind of does most of the big stuff. There's a lot of other rules too, like the first wife is called the ritual wife, and she isn't allowed to have kids, and there's no firstborn son rule. Technically, any appointed son can become king, but yeah, it's basically the king and his mom. They do have an appointed prime minister in parliament, though. They get voted in for 5-year terms. The majority, at about 83% of the country, identifies as Christian. However, it's a little tricky because, like Haiti, lots of the indigenous beliefs have also sort of synchronized into what is considered mainstream Swazi Christianity. The royal family themselves kind of identify with Christianity, but also follow indigenous beliefs that go against doctrines, such as practicing polygamy. The king is also the center of the Inkwala ceremony, an indigenous religious festival.
Inkwala.
Held by special priests known as the Bemanti. Speaking of which, the former king Sopuza II is speculated to have anywhere between 70 to 125 wives. He had over 200 children. He ascended to the throne as king when he was only 4 months old after his father died, and after over 82 years, he is the monarch with the longest verifiable reign recorded ever in history. This means that if Queen Elizabeth lives to be 110 years old, she could beat him in 2035. I think I did the math right. Okay, so 82 years minus her current reign, and then take the age and then add 17 plus the current year. Yeah, 2035, yeah. Going back to the ceremony thing, the most famous festival would probably be the Umhlanga ceremony, or...
No. Umhlanga. Not Umhlanga. Look at the spelling on there. It's called the Umhlanga, and it's actually happening around September. I think as we speak right now, it's going on. Very beautiful ceremony whereby your girlfriend might be taken by the king. But yeah, it's called the Umhlanga, so the guy left the U over there.
Fertility festival and reed dance ceremony. Now, before I explain exactly what it is, full disclosure, the entire event is performed by bare-chested women. YouTube has stated that its policy is not to restrict nudity in such instances where it is culturally or traditionally appropriate. However, for the sake of safety and respect for certain viewers, we will censor it anyway. The festival is for unmarried virgin women whom travel from the various chiefdoms to the Ludzizini royal village. Tens of thousands of women show up wearing special sashes, anklets, and skirts as they sing and dance with giant reed stacks, which they use to repair holes in the windscreen of the royal village. The official purpose of the annual ceremony is to preserve the women's chastity, provide tribute labor to the Queen Mother, and produce solidarity amongst women throughout working together. Often the royal princesses also join in, and you can tell who they are if they wear the red feathers of the Luri bird, which only the royal family are allowed to wear. And yeah, that was a lot of culture info. All right, condensed history time. We don't have
8 out of 10. Actually, good research on their part, you know. Very good research. So guys, go look up Umhlanga reed dance. The Umhlanga reed dance. It happens in Swaziland, Eswatini. It's a very beautiful event. A lot of tourists come there. One of the major events is bushfire, Umhlanga. Very and what else? I forgot what's the other one. It'll come back.
Have a lot of time to explain, but in the quickest way I can put it, Bantus arrive, this king leads the Dlamini clan, this king becomes the king at age 6, Christian missionaries, Boer Wars, a bunch of more kings and queens take over, crossfire with the Anglo-Boer Wars, the country becomes a British protectorate, autonomy and independence, King Sobhuza II repeals the constitution and bans all political parties, and develops a system favoring traditional tribal communities, 1990s civil action promotes more democracy, new parliament elections, and here we are today. And besides the royal family, some notable people from Eswatini or of Swazi descent might include people like Carl Crack, Mala Nun, Dennis Massina, Zola Maseko, Luke Hall, Robbie Nathan Gamedze, Tiffany Simaland, and a ton of soccer players. Alright, let's finish.
And Uncle Waffles. How you leave Waffles, to be fair? That was 5 years ago, but yeah, Uncle Waffles too. Who else? Amanda DuPont, yeah. Who else? Yeah, a couple of South Africans, but who changed nationality.
Shop this bad boy with some friends, shall we? Now, Eswatini is a small country, but they still reach out to the rest of the world, and they have an interesting way of doing it. When it comes to outside of Africa, they're one of the few countries that recognizes and has diplomatic ties to Taiwan rather than the People's Republic of China. Taiwan has a lot of investment and each have embassies. The United States and the UK each give the most foreign aid from abroad, especially in the HIV/AIDS programs implemented by the Agency for International Development and Centers for Disease Control. They're also the largest bilateral donor to the Global Fund and invest heavily in education, especially in Eswatini's medical field. They're also part of the Commonwealth of Nations, which keeps the British ties close. Inside of Africa, they are part of the Southern African Development Community and have ties to all the countries included. Of course, Mozambique helps them with trade and gives them access to shipping. Portuguese is also a commonly taught third language for the people. When it comes to their best friends, however, most Swazi people I have talked to have said South Africa, and specifically the Zulu areas of South Africa. Zulus are their cousins. They basically speak the same language and understand each other's customs. South Africa is just
almost the same language. One would say Siswati is more sweet, while Zulu is more rough.
Source of 90% of their imports and 70% of their exports. The two, despite being distinctly two nations, are essentially one blood. In conclusion, even though modern years have had a few bruises,
Yeah. I'll conclude this one, brother. I'll conclude this one. But Eswatini and South Africa are basically almost the same thing. But yes, Eswatini was actually very big, but South Africa took a huge chunk of that part called Mpumalanga. It's a very beautiful country, mountainous region. A lot of mountains there. Up until recently, it had the biggest rock called the Sibebe Rock. It has the oldest mine, like this guy mentioned. Very peaceful people and welcoming people. Like, it's very common for Swazis to greet you, you know. Unlike where I am right now, it's like you greet your elders, greet strangers, greet everybody. Beautiful, very peaceful up until recently, but I think they'll get that in check. Yeah, it's a very beautiful country. But if you have any questions about that country, guys, ask me. If I don't know the answer, I'll direct you to somebody who does. But do you want me to react to more content about Eswatini? And what else would you like to know? You tell me. But please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 100 subs, guys. Most of them people who are watching, I love you, but you're not subscribing and liking my content. I don't know why, but you keep watching the content, but you're free to. You're not forced to. I don't think I should force you to. No, if you love the video, guys, please subscribe. If you do not like the video, do not do that, but I'd appreciate you if you did. Okay, guys, love and peace. Catch you in the next video.